Hello, welcome or welcome back if you've already seen one of my videos before to Casey's Book Corner. I'm Kirsten and I am here doing my very best to create a little old one-stop shop for book reviews, book lists and book recommendations for your viewing pleasure. Today's review is going to be a quick old review on one of July's Amazon First Reads picks that I selected at the start of July. A little sci-fi romance that explores parallel universes. As a Trekkie and a Marvel girl, I love a parallel universe, love a multiverse theme. So this one appealed to me 100%. If you've watched one of my videos before, which is possible, you'll know the drill. Pull up a chair, get yourself comfy, get a little drinky. She's on the Barocca again. It's important for allegedly keeping your brain engaged. I need it, tell you that. Now that we are all cosy and comfy, let's go on with today's review. Right then, now the intro is done and dusted, let's get on with it, shall we? So I'm reviewing today a book called In Any Lifetime by Marc Guggenheim. It was another freebie from July's Amazon First Reads, and I've already reviewed the other book that I picked for July, You Shouldn't Be Here by Lauren Thoman. I did the other review for that on Wednesday, so go and check it out after you've watched this one. This is another book that I had picked and downloaded based simply on the cover. I do that quite often. It's an image of like an hourglass and the sand is taken through the hourglass onto a city. The imagery was really cool and quite intriguing, and I was interested to see where that would take me. The idea that time is running out and that your whole world is part of that. That's the vibe I got anyway. I didn't know if I was right or wrong, but that's what it felt like. So this story is about a guy called Jonas. His wife dies tragically. Not a spoiler, by the way. It's on the blurb. He's like a scientist, a researcher, a theorist, and he decides within his grief that the best way to resolve his grief is to travel through the parallel universes to find the universe in which his wife is still alive. There's a lot of like sci-fi technical speak in the book that went right over my head, but the author did a really good job of ensuring that there was enough dialogue between Jonas and lay people in Jonas's life that allowed the author to describe this science speak in a slightly more digestible way. I really liked how he did that. I need this kind of stuff dumbed down sometimes. Not that I would know if any of the science stuff was true or whether it was completely made up words or mumbo jumbo, but it sounded good and the explanations made enough sense for me to get on with the rest of the story. Marc Guggenheim has also done quite a good job of plugging some of the gaps or the plot holes that you can sometimes find in parallel universe ideas. The idea that every single action that we take creates a new parallel universe where that action wasn't taken, creates infinite possibilities, and makes Jonas's quest pretty much impossible. But Marc does a really good job of dampening that down just enough to make what Jonas is trying to do sound a little bit more believable. The passing of Jonas's wife was written beautifully. That sounds really weird. I don't mean that the passing was beautiful, but the symbolism and the way that this was depicted was poetic and really sensitively and beautifully done. I felt really connected straight away to Jonas's grief, even though this passing happens at the start of the book. It's practically within the first 5 pages. That's really impressive and really difficult to achieve get that connection with your character straight away. So the book is kind of marketed like a romance, but the way that the romance is handled is through like flashback memories of Jonas's budding relationship with his wife who's now passed. So it was quite bittersweet. I liked how that was done, rather than having half of the book being the build-up of the relationship, then the passing, and then half of the book being about him trying to find her. The entirety of the book is him trying to find his wife in another universe, with little snapshots back to the time of his wife being alive and their relationship from there. I did quite like that. I will admit, I asked my other half if he would create a machine to move him into parallel universes to find me if anything happened to me. My answer was not particularly romantic. It was more of a look, and the look went like, what are you on about? And they say romance is dead. There was way more pace and action in this book than I thought there was going to be. I was thinking it was a romance and that it would be very much focused on the relationship and the love he has for his wife. And while that is there, it's pretty action-packed. There is a James Bond villain in this book, which I wasn't expected. It really did add to the pace. I think a little bit more could have been done to give us a really good origin story of this bad guy. I didn't really know him well enough, so I didn't quite hate him in the way that maybe I was meant to hate him. But it was a great premise, and I loved that little twist on my expectations of the story. All in all, I was super impressed with this book. I gave it 4 stars. The style of writing was really on point for me. It completely drew me in. I finished it in about 5 hours because I could not put it down. And I would be super keen to see more from the author in future. And there you have it. My review of In Any Lifetime by Marc Guggenheim. Definitely worth a read. I'll pop the link into the description below for you. Have a little gander. If you love a sci-fi, if you like suspending your belief just for a second, go for it. It's really well written. Really good book. My first monthly roundup is coming on Monday, and that will be in the next video. So give me a little subscribe so that you don't miss it. You don't want to miss it. It'll be a good one. I have read loads of amazing books in July, and I'll be giving you my roundup on Monday. So until then, enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great weekend. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.